tell Steve we're staying somewhere, but I never told you where.
And you played it up too. You were like, I heard this is a pretty nice place, it's gonna be good. And I'm like, okay, Franny won't let us down.
Oh no. Well, first of all, it was free. So I got us a booking at some convention or some show. And I said, you remember this? Do you remember? I said to you, they are taking care of our hotel. And that's all.
I haven't thought about this in years.
Good. You remember?
Yeah.
Okay. I've told my version. You have to tell your version because I want to see if I'm correct in my thinking. So I got us the booking. I don't remember how. And I said,
was it somewhere in Massachusetts or was it Jersey?
It had to have been far because we stayed overnight.
We definitely did stay overnight.
We did stay.
That's the part of the story, right?
Okay. So for those of you who aren't following, because Steve and I could just look at each other and we know what we're thinking right now. For those of you who have no idea, this was after ECW. And because you and I were doing some shots together afterwards.
Yeah.
We were all trying to help each other get bookings. I remember this. And we lived kind of close in proximity. And I said, hey, Steve, there's this show or this convention. Do you want to do it with me? And you were like, yeah. I said, great. They are getting us a hotel. But what I didn't tell Steve is that it wasn't a hotel room. It was a convent.
A convent. Where nuns stay.
Right. Where nuns. It was a Catholic convent where nuns lived. And I don't know if if they were one of the sponsors, but all the boys were invited to stay at the convent. And so I tell Steve, we're staying somewhere, but I never told you where.
And you played it up too. You were like, I heard this is a pretty nice place, it's going to be good. And I'm like, okay, Franny won't let us down.
Oh, no. Well, first of all, it was free. So you were like, it was free. So all I remember, and you take it over, we had directions after the show. I don't know if it was a show or a convention. We pull up, and do you remember it was a kind of like a hill with lit candles,
yes,
a lit pathway?
Yeah, it's where horror places or horror movies are made or thought
so
of
go
or
ahead.
something like
Tell
that.
your side of the story.
So the way I remember it was, I'm like, I don't see the hotel. You're like, well, it's not really a hotel, and that's when you were like, I think you even tried to say it was called the convent or something like that. Like it was some sort of Fairfield Inn or something like that.
The convent was the name of the place. It was a convent, all right.
Oh my God. And we went in, and I just remember there was no food, right?
No.
And then we had to pair off and go, and I don't know if I slept in much at all.
No. First of all, why would there be food? Why would there be food?
Because Franny, most hotels have food.
Yeah, but this was a convent. No. Okay. See, he doesn't remember. We had to ring the doorbell, and a nun answered the door.
Oh my God, I remember that.
You and I had to say that we were married because we were staying in the same room. Do you remember?
Oh my God, now I remember that. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So I said yes. I'm lying to a nun. God forgive me. This is my husband.
Because you're Catholic, right?
I'm Catholic, yes.
The lightning almost struck me as we came in.
I said, this is my husband. They had an elevator that was the crank.
Yes, yeah.
Remember? They had to pull a chain and you could only go on one at a time. And I was scared to death. And I was going, Steve, come with me. You go, no, I'm not getting on that elevator.
So a true husband.
Wait, I get on the elevator. She cranks us up, right? I get off. There's a huge statue of Jesus staring at me. And I'm like, oh my God. Remember the big cross was there? And I was like, oh my God.
It was the worst.
So then Steve comes up and we go into this room. no TV. It
No,
had
and I
two,
need the TV to sleep too. So that
no,
was
you
another
had AirPods, or you had a what was back then?
Walkman.
Either, well, a Walkman or what did they call that? The newer
Oh,
thing.
MP3 player.
Yes,
Yeah.
you had an, and I didn't. And you were like so mad at me, and you're like, I'm not talking to you. And you put your earphones on and you just laid there. And I was just like sitting there, and I was like, well, what am I supposed to do?
Like a true marriage.
Yeah, exactly. Separate beds. You wouldn't look at me. I sat there grumpy. What did you do? You went and took a shower.
I took a shower.
And what did you do in the shower?
Washed my body.
No.
What else are you going to do in a convent?
Ew, disgusting. He came in and he goes, yeah, I just pleasured myself in the shower. I was like, you're in a convent, you pig.
You're the Catholic one. Yeah. Oh, yes. I remember that. Yep.
I try to remember that story like little pieces. And I'm like, I know I'm forgetting something, but your memory's worse than mine is. But
sometimes.
I just thought that was hilarious.
Oh my God, right? Yeah. I can't believe
that. Back then we didn't have phones that record. Could you imagine if we recorded that stuff? That would have been a YouTube classic.
I would have been canceled. Yeah.
Why? Oh,
because it was in the shower. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I didn't see him do it. I was in my room.
Yeah, I could be lying.
Oh my God. No, it was so great. It was so great. It was the perfect, like you would say it's the perfect rib, but like but it was me too. So I was ribbing myself practically.
Yeah, we were true wrestlers, like taking any free room possible. And like the nuns are like, come on in, but you gotta be married.
She was like, you're married, right? We're like, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Great.
I'm like, what are we doing?
Oh my God.
That was the signing where I got into a little scuttlebutt with the dude that was Darth Vader. Do you remember him?
I was gonna say, was it a Star Wars convention or something?
It was. It had to be, because like he was reading the morning paper, and I was just like, "Sir, like when you're done with that, could I read that?" And he goes, well, "I paid for this," and I go, "Hey man, it's a newspaper. Can I read it?" He's like, "Yeah, but I'm in it, right?" And I'm like, "Okay." And like I grab it, and I read it, and it's like Darth Vader appears, and I was like, "Oh, this asshole's Darth Vader?" Yeah, no, he's not James Earl Jones. Yeah, I think he just died, so I feel bad.
And he died a while ago, but
okay, cool.
Hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So my day was already ruined, and I think George the Animal Steel tried to sell me on religion that day too.
See, it was meant to be. You're supposed to convert.
They failed. Oh, yeah.
Hey there, it is the Queen of Extreme, Francine from ECW. Do you want to see more of me? Click over here to watch another video, or click over here to listen to my podcast.